Huh? Yeah, yeah, I got you.
ScalePlusTed episode 8.
How's everybody doing? Welcome to Scale Plus Ted. Today we have the pleasure of interviewing a good buddy of mine from way back, Mr. Dwayne Boyd.
Hey,
everybody.
Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
man, no problem,
good to
no
be here
problem.
in the den with you, man. I like this.
That's
setup,
right, the
man.
dungeon back in the day.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
This
yeah.
is it. This is it. When you're an old Outcast rap fan, man, you gotta have the dungeon.
Well, yeah, man. So I'm excited to be here.
Cool, man. I appreciate you coming.
Yeah, yeah.
So what we do, just talk about who you are and what you are, and let people know about it. So, Dwayne Boyd, tell me where you were born, man.
Born and raised in Kansas City, Missouri, man.
Oh,
Back in the 70s. I got a birthday coming up Wednesday.
When the Chiefs were shit.
Chiefs was trash back then. Well, you know what? No, we won in '69, but we just now came back to that glory. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I've been with them from day one, man. And you know, it's been a struggle, but I love being that guy now with Patrick Mahomes.
Oh yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. He's good, man.
He's
totally
an alien.
good.
That dude's something else, man.
No, I think he's the best quarterback ever.
Yeah, that's what I think.
He'll go down.
Mm-hmm.
He's still young, 27.
28, man. Yeah.
So you're born and raised in Kansas City?
Born and raised in KC. My father was a firefighter. My grandfather was a firefighter. So come from a family of firefighters. I thought I was going to be a firefighter growing up. I felt like that was the natural state for me. And then I just said, you know what? Do I really want to run in a burning building? And I said, I got to give those guys are heroes to me. So I said, let me rethink this. So I went to the military. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I spent some time in the Army and brought me to Atlanta, man.
So you got out of high school, went to the Army?
What you doing? Yeah, I was an infantry soldier.
Okay. Yeah.
11 Mike used to ride the Bradley tanks and dismount and get out, and we was the ground troops.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was getting into when I went in, and when I went in and saw how hardcore it really was, I was like, oh, this is a real deal. But I learned a lot from it, man. I learned a lot of discipline and motivation, and that's things I carry to this day in the craft.
So you're about my age, I'm guessing. Was that around Desert Storm, or was that?
Yeah, Desert Storm. Yeah.
Okay.
And we were supposed to get deployed. My unit, we were going. We had packed up and got all the shots. We called home to mom, dad, girlfriends, whatever, and said, hey, this might be it. That Sunday night, we were leaving, and Monday they told us our orders were no more. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's good. But you saw, had
you
buddies.
wanted to go. You're bumped up.
At the time, yeah, I was 18, gung ho, ready to go. But now I look back, man, I don't know if I wanted to be in that situation that age. You know what I'm saying? I think that you sign up for it, but and I pray nobody ever has to go to war.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes, you look at that and say, well, is that really the path I wanted to take? So
yeah. I had 5 buddies, man, out of high school, my closest friends, and they all joined the Marines, and right there was Desert Storm, man. I graduated in '91 high school.
Yeah, 90 here, yeah.
And so it went right there, and they all got deployed, and 2 of them are still in the military.
Made
a life of a career,
sure,
Sure. And now I was never a military guy, but now I'm kicking myself in the ass because they're sitting pretty, man.
Well,
they're about to retire.
If you can hang in there,
right.
that's the hard thing, man. That's you got to think, man. It's getting up 5 a.m, running 10 miles or whatever you got to do, and I got burnt out after a while. I did it for 7 years. So
I told him all the time. I tell them all the time, and regular kids. It's like you can't tell a fucking 18-year-old man, hey, listen. If you stick for 20 years, man, you're going to be set. They're like,
right.
20 years? Man. Fucking 38? I'll be an old-ass man at 38.
Yeah, but a lot of my buddies got out, man. A lot of my buddies stayed in the whole time. I got friends that became first sergeants, and these are guys that I was in with. So you're right to see them sitting nice like that. A lot of them retired now, man.
Yeah, they're chilling. Man. They're chilling.
Yeah, but I got out on medical. I ended up just, messing up my wrist and broke the one bone that wouldn't heal, so they had to put a screw in and all this other stuff. And I think it was going to hinder me in the long term, to do more. So I think at that time it was just time for me to change up, switch up and try something different.
So you said it brought you to Atlanta. How did it get? Were you stationed in Atlanta?
I was stationed in Fort Benning, Georgia.
Yeah,
down
South
Fort
Columbus.
Benning, a little hour and a half away, and I would come to Atlanta on weekends, hang out, and I said, "This is a pretty cool place. Let me hang out here." And I end up, went back home for 30 days and realized, nah, this is not it. I went back to Kansas City.
Too cold.
Too cold. It was a little rough too. You know what I'm saying? Kansas City was the neighborhood I grew up in was always something going on. So for me, going back to that, I said, nah, let me go give Atlanta a try. And I was married at the time, and my ex-wife was staying down here, so I came back and stayed with her Uncle Brett, with Brenda. They let me stay with them. I slept on the air mattress until I figured it out.
Cool.
And was able to kind of carve away down here, man.
Yeah. So what'd you do when you got out of the Army?
As far as a job? Job, I was looking around doing things. I ended up cutting hair, man. Now, I used to cut hair before I went in the military. I was the barber on the weekends. And
for high school?
Yeah, high school. I would go and cut at this place called Clyde's such a class, a beauty shop that he would let me come in there and try to learn how to cut, and I was in there messing people's heads up. When I went in the military, I started cutting high and tights on the weekend in the barracks. You know what I'm saying? So that's something I knew I could possibly do. And
that's a skill, man.
Yeah.
And it's a skill you make money.
Oh yeah, I was able to support myself. I did that. I came into. I ended up running a barbershop when I first started down here. It was called First Class Barbershop. They had a chain up around town at the time, and Al Austin gave me a shot over there, and I was able to support myself until I figured out what I really wanted to do.
Yeah.
But I knew. I got to the point, man. I think that every career has a cycle of life. You know, certain you start off doing this fun because you're making money, then you get burnt out, and you said, "Do I want to do this for the rest of my life?" No.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine, Chris Bryan, said, "Man, what do you want to do?" Because I got depressed. I got to the point where like I can't do this for the rest of my life. I can't just keep cutting hair. This is not it. So he said, "What do you want to do?" I said, "I want to act." It just hit me. I said, "I want to act." He said, "Well, go do it." So I packed my stuff up in a box one weekend. I told everybody I was leaving and packed my stuff up and left. And next week I was right back there part time. You know what I'm saying? Because I needed money. You know what I'm saying? I still needed to eat. You know what I'm saying? Wait a minute, this acting. And there was nothing happening here. 89. I mean, no, 99, 2000. There was nothing really here but industrials and commercials.
No, I know.
And the occasional movie that would come to town and let you be an extra.
I know. That's what I was going to ask you. You jump ahead a little bit, which is cool.
Yeah.
No, but like, damn. So you were like, "Hey, man, I'm leaving. I'm not going to cut hair anymore. I'm going to be an actor." It just hit you. You didn't see anybody. You didn't know anybody. You never did in high school.
No, I did in high school. I took drama in high school.
Okay.
And my drama teacher in high school, Miss Bassett, rest her soul, she was a sweet lady. She said, "Mr. Boyd, you run here playing around in here, but you can really do this," because it was an easy grade to me. I was like, "I can get up here and act and play." She said, "You can really do something with this." I said, "What am I going to do with this?" And here I am, and doing it 20-something years later.
Yeah, I'd done a couple commercials and shit, and I went to college in Georgia.
Nice.
And I took I'm a political science major. It means nothing. It means I'm a scientist. And but I took a damn acting class, man, and I took it. I was like, "Fuck, you can't teach somebody to be a fucking actor, man. Fuck this." I made a C. And I'd already acted. Like, I'd already been in plays and all that shit, but I just didn't take it seriously, the class. Because I'm like, you can't fuck this class, man. Made a C. They wanted to take, I was like, you can't have a test in creativity, man. Fuck y'all, man. Y'all can't, you can't make somebody funny, man. You can't teach somebody how to act. But that's cool. So you went and decided I'm going to be an actor. Yeah. Not shit was going on back then because I was there. Yeah. Several of us were there. And so that was a dumbass move on your part.
It was. And at the time, like I said, I'm married. I got, kids and a house and everything. And, you really, and at the time, I think I was helping my wife get through hair. She was going through hair school. That's what she really wanted to do. Yeah. And for me, it was just like, I got to figure something out, man. So I had to go back. But I would go to auditions and come back to the barbershop after the audition. People say, "Oh, look at him. He's the extra of the year. He's trying." I would get Joan for that. They would go in about, everything,
Hold up.
man.
Dwayne just said a word that not many people know, man.
Yeah, old school, right?
Oh, that's old school. That's Atlanta Public School. And you didn't even go to Atlanta Public School.
No, I didn't. Yeah, but
motherfuckers don't know what Jonan means.
No, they don't know what that means. Somebody talks about you and makes fun of your
mama,
dozens, all that stuff. We call it
Joan, man. White Joan on me.
And I would get that coming back from the bar. I remember one time I was coming back and Griff, he was on the radio at the time. He was a radio person. He said, "Give it up for the extra of the year." Everybody bust out laughing.
He was in the barbershop.
He was in the barbershop. The barbershop was a hangout spot. It's always a hangout spot. So
you ain't got to tell me just because I'm white, man.
Okay, man. I know it's a hangout spot for y'all too, right? You go in there and talk shit to everybody, right?
Nah, same lady been cutting my hair supercuts for fucking 20 years. Ain't nobody hanging out in supercuts.
But yeah, so that was the kind of stuff I would get. But now those same guys, they want to act.
Shout out to Sharon. She's tight.
Sharon's keeping you right over there.
Go ahead. Appreciate it.
But I said this, now the guys that made fun of it, some of them say, "Hey, man, how do I get into this acting?"
Yeah.
I seen, you know how I go.
Fuck you, motherfucker. Yeah.
I'm like, well.
I remember you. Now you're doing fucking This Is It commercials, Griff. Right. Fuck you.
Now, Griff is cool, dude, man. He's a comedian, so he would come to the shop and just talk junk.
All right.
Hey, man, let me tell you, he had that voice. So. Yeah, but he would come hang out in First Class Barbershop on Memorial Drive back in the day. Shout out to Belvedere Plaza.
Shout out. Yeah. Is he still
B103?
Yeah.
No, I think, man, the radio game. And a lot of people that I know in radio, that is a cutthroat industry. Mm-hmm. You'll be there one week and gone the next,
And people think you make money out of it. A lot of those guys don't make shit, man.
No, man, they just...
You're on air and people think you're a celebrity, but you ain't making... It's like acting. They think you're making money.
You got to do something else like we do.
Right. Yeah. All right, so you went back to barbershop halftime. Did you have for that weekend, did you have an agent?
Nope, I didn't have anything.
Just went for
it. Just a headshot, running around town.
Oh, you did have a headshot? Well, that's good.
I think I did, if I remember. It was a terrible...
Black and white?
It was black and white, but this guy, I found this guy, took headshots with him. This was probably the worst headshots I've ever taken. I'm in a construction hat. I'm just, one of those.
Right.
Look at me, I can be everything. Yeah, I was. I knew it was bad because I met him to get my proofs in a McDonald's parking lot. I said, this can't be good. And he gave me on a disc, and it was just terrible. I had fake sweat on one of my workout shirts. So I was just like, oh my goodness, it's one of those things. You know what I'm saying?
He also sold damn VHS tapes. And fucking skin so soft.
Right,
Out of
man.
the trunk,
So,
he was an Avon guy.
I was just like, I said, "Hey, this is not starting off good, man." So, at that point, I said, and I think that you have to go through that, man, to know if you really want to do this, because you're like you said, man, before we started, man, it's a bunch of ups and downs, a lot more downs than we like to admit.
Yeah. Well, it's that way still, not when we just started. That's the way this career is.
It is,
even for famous people, man. You don't, you forget about them, but you're like, fuck, wow,
what happened to
that dude? Where'd he go?
Yeah. And like I said, I try to have what I call mentors from afar. Meaning, I'm a big Jon Favreau fan, right?
Okay.
I'm talking Swingers made back in the early days, 96. So I said, if I could have any career, I like a career like that. That guy, not only did he, because I think him and Vince Vaughn met on the set of Rudy or something. This the story goes.
Okay.
And as you know, and from that point they got tired. Said, we're doing this extra low, this one-liner stuff. Let's go and create our own, and that's what he's done. And without him, Marvel wouldn't be so big because he started the whole Iron Man thing. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm going to base my career off anybody was doing, he's the one that I look up and say, wow, I want to be like that guy. Or even Robert Townsend. I got to work with him for a couple of years. He was a great mentor to have. I learned so much from him. But I'm a self-starter, man. I got to, I couldn't wait for the opportunities. I had to go out here and create.
No, and that's what I tell people all the time. You got to be that. Like, people are like, oh, who's your agent? I'm like, you're your best agent.
Yeah.
You're the only one. Because especially in the Atlanta market, it's not like Jerry Maguire's out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Agent's not going to look out for you.
They're trying to keep them doors open. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. It's a business. And I understand that and respect that. I don't like it, but there's no such thing as the agent who's like, hey, I got this guy. No. They're like, I got these hundreds of people. Yeah. Take it, I don't care who you pick kind of thing.
Rick Essman told me something that made me change the whole way I looked at the whole agent manager thing. He said, Dwayne, agents wake up in the morning and say, okay, I got this roster of people. How many people can I get auditions for?
Right.
A manager wakes up and says, what can I help Dwayne with today? How can I, so it made me understand how they work. And it's a business, So I think that the more you can figure out where you fit in and what you can do. I tell people all the time, don't just be an actor. What else can you do? You produce, direct, write, do something else. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's what we're doing here.
Right. So when did you had a headshot you picked up from the McDonald's parking lot and a Happy Meal box?
Right.
And then when did you took those headshots and you try to shop them around
I didn't.
existing?
I put those away and shot again.
Oh, you did?
And I kept, you spend so much money on headshots starting out, man. So it was just trying to figure out that look.
And it's disheartening, man. You fucking get beat up. You're like, damn.
Yeah. And I remember I went to this place called TMA Talent back in you remember TMA?
Well, I was with them.
Okay, so we was
Joan Tiabi.
Yes, it was an extra talent agency.
Yeah.
And we got we had to go and audition for her and everything else, and you would just get sent on an extra.
Yeah, and her little house over there. In
North she was kind of mean though, wasn't she? Joan?
She's a total New York bitch, man. Rest in peace, I guess.
She passed. What did she pass?
Oh man, many years ago.
I don't know that.
But she still owes me money. But anyway, I guess I'll never get that. But
she was mean though. She was
totally mean. But the thing about people like that, man, and I've known it my whole life, but a lot of people don't know it. It's her fucking bark. As soon as you
back at her,
get back at her, then she respects you. It's New York, and she respects you. And then she's fine.
That makes a lot of
people are like that, man. But yeah, she was totally mean. She scared the shit out of everybody new in the business.
Right.
I did a gig with her, and it was terrible, man. We were downtown. A company. It was like a big convention, some kind of business convention. It might have been technological something back in the day, which wasn't much tech shit. But a company hired us, a bunch of actors, to protest outside of the convention, fake protest, but it was a marketing tool. So we were protesting for their company, whatever it was. So we're all signs and shirts, and they made us chant. We're walking like a picket line to get publicity for their company for this big convention. Man, we did that shit 3 days in the sun, the heat, whatever. They fed us, blah, blah, blah. And then they never paid her, and she never paid us. She didn't sue them or stuff. And it was probably 25 actors out there busting their ass in the heat. You know what I mean?
We do, man.
So anyway, you went to Joan first, which I did too. I was told to go there.
Yeah, and it was.
And you signed with her.
Signed with her, and did a couple things with her, and just realized I don't really know if this is the place to be. And I ended up doing a gig one time. I think it was for an industrial, and I don't remember. I think I got signed with Houghton Talent after that.
Yep.
Misty and her mom. Incredible. Gail, yes, incredible. Yeah. And I got signed with them and started doing some more background stuff as well, but I ended up getting an opportunity to work on an industrial, and the lady, the producers told Misty, says, hey, this guy can do more, get him in for more, and from that point, Misty started submitting me, I started booking things. So
what was the industrial?
It was one of those union industrials where don't talk to the union, all that stuff. So
it was, I know, it was out there on Peachtree Industrial.
Yeah, and I didn't realize them union jobs, man, that's kind of dangerous.
Yeah.
I was at a funeral back home one day, and this dude walked up to me and says, hey, man, don't be talking bad about the union, man. The union's doing. I said, dude, I'm just an actor. I'm not really a part of this. He was pissed off, though. He sitting at the funeral looking at me like this at the funeral. I'm like, I'm about to get jumped on in a funeral. What is this? So
Same shit,
he
man.
thought I was really that guy trying to
right.
stop the union. I said, "No, man, I'm an actor. What are you talking about?"
Same shit we used to do them for coal mines up in West Virginia and all.
Okay.
And it was the same company, but coal mines would hire this place out of Atlanta, same place. I forget the name, and it kills me. It doesn't matter, but the same thing. So they would hire me over and over and over to do this coal mining shit, right? And I was always the guy. So just so everybody knows, it was anti-union tape. So what would happen is a company would find out that their employees were about to unionize.
That's right.
And they would make a video with this production company, hire actors like us, and then they would force their employees to watch this training video, which was propaganda to tell them not to sign.
Threatening them, basically.
Yeah. Telling them not to sign the union card, not to unionize. And there was always an instigator who was the younger guy who was like, all right, this is going to be great. There was the old fucking salty bastard who was like, fucking unions suck and all that. And then there was me. I was always the fence sitter, they called it. So I'd be like, I don't know, man, because I was in my 30s where I was like, yeah, I don't know. I think union might be good. No, it might be, bad, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so this same company would hire me over and over. And they came and shook my hand, like, you're doing such a great job. He goes, we showed this to somebody. We showed it to our plant in West Virginia the other day. And one of the guys in the back was like, hey, I know that dude. He's on third shift. Talking about me in Atlanta, man. So that's how good you did. Such a good job that you almost got your ass beat at a funeral.
Yeah,
I did such a good job. They thought I worked third shift in the mines.
Really, and you said
I've never been in a mine in my whole
roles.
life.
I was always the guy that was kind of inciting the.
Oh, you were the young guy who was trying to get them to sign.
Yeah. That was the lane I would play. So.
Yeah, remember they had a kitchen scene. You're in. Remember
it was so
studio?
many. Yeah, they had the kitchen. They had the diner scene. Everything. Man.
That's
so
funny,
man.
man. You brought it. So that was fun. One of our first.
Yeah, and back in the day, they used to have a teleprompter sometimes or whatever you needed, or it was improv or whatever. But the last time I did it was years back, man. They didn't have a teleprompter. They gave me this long list of dialogue, everything, and I couldn't do it. I was like, this is too, I don't want to do this no more. Yeah. It got boring after a while, didn't you?
Yeah.
Don't you agree?
Yeah. But it was a good check.
It was, starting out.
For this market.
But those don't even pay nowhere near what they used to pay now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, they just $200 or $300 or $400 something, and you can keep it moving.
That's why you done want it. Wow,
yeah, there you go.
Fuck that. I ain't trying to get beat up at a funeral for $300.
Right.
All right, so the person there said that he can do more.
And then from that point, Missy started sending me out, and I booked a TV show. I believe it was called Surface. I believe it was an NBC show. Yeah, I remember the Pate brothers did it, which was shot in North Carolina. Fin Cannons were.
It was like a sci-fi
show. Yeah.
Yeah. What was it about? Tell me. It was like
about
eggs or something.
It was underground thing in the ocean, and they found it, and it was coming on land. It lasted one season, but I had two episodes, and that was like I had made it. You know what I'm saying?
But that's good. That's a network show.
That's a great network show. Great experience. The whole thing, man. And from that point, I was like, man, this might be something to this.
And it was Wilmington,
North Carolina. That's a 7-hour drive with no joke. You remember we used to go down there for auditions?
Yeah.
And
which I think this podcast will show a lot of people, the 7 people that watch it. Is that's what the Atlanta market was before tapes.
Man,
we would routinely drive to Wilmington and back in a day.
Tennessee, everywhere.
We drive to fucking New Orleans and back in a day.
Man.
Remember doing that?
Oh man, I did that one time. I said never again.
Yeah, I mean crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
I've done that a bunch, man. All right, so you got Surface, and you thought you had made it, of course.
I thought I was going to be the next Will Smith or something. I said, this is it. I'd have made it. I'd have arrived. And, well, not Will Smith, because he's
I was going to wonder about that.
Yeah, I don't want to say it.
Yeah.
How?
You might as well be Diddy. Okay. You might as well be Diddy. Man.
Right. Man, and I don't know what's going on right now.
With everybody,
a lot of people getting exposed for stuff, man.
Yeah, I know, I've never seen I hope my shit don't come out.
Yeah, hey, come on. Hey, if you did anything, right now is the time for it to come out.
Just let it know.
Yeah.
Should we let them know about it, me and you?
Right now is the time. But no, I think at that point, man, I still felt like I can do this, and I ended up getting more opportunities in People Store. I was like, because that's when you could sign with multiple agencies. Remember?
Yeah, I was with both of them.
Yeah, I was with People Store, Houghton. I was
same.
The agency in Tennessee, everywhere, and I had a big opportunity come down. This is when I was with. You remember Actors and Entertainers in North Carolina? You remember them? Bill and Nancy, really nice people. Well, I had an audition for the FinCan. They sent me on. It was a lead role in a show called Dante. It was produced by Steve Leviathan. He had done Just Shoot Me and all those shows, which I was a fan of that show.
Yeah.
I like David Spade on that show. So I said, okay, I went to audition.
Dante.
Yes.
Okay.
There was the lead show. It was about a retired NFL player who was egotistical, like a Terrell Owens type. Yeah. This is back when Terrell was hot. So I went up going to North Carolina with a buddy of mine. He had the same audition, Eric Eddings.
Same part?
Same part, yeah. Okay. We went down there, and I had the sweatsuit on, the earrings. I was playing the role. And when I got in the room, Lisa Fincannon was like, oh, my God, Dwayne, you are Dante. I was like, really? She said, that's a great job. She says, listen, you're still on paper a little bit. Can you stay the night and get off paper? Well, staying the night in North Carolina costs money. I didn't have no money. I said, sure, I can stay the night. So I didn't know how I was going to pay for it. I think I had $48 for a hotel room or something. And my buddy who didn't get the call back, he ended up staying with me to run lines. That's the kind of guy he is. Eric, just a great guy, and he stayed with me, run the lines, and we got it down. It was like 8-page audition and off paper. It was a funny scene. I came in the next day, and there was other guys in the lobby, but I said, okay, I'm here for this. This is me. So I went in there and nailed it. And Lisa was like, oh my God, Dwayne, this is gonna get crazy after this. Be ready to go to LA. So I hear that, I'm thinking, oh, this is it.
Yeah.
This is how it starts.
Done.
So I go home and I'm waiting. Week go by, 2 weeks go by. I says, hey, Nancy called actress my agent. Hey, you hear anything about this Dante yet? She said, no, nothing yet. Just be patient, honey. I said, okay. So I wake up every morning. I would read the Hollywood Reporter because that's what we did back then. Read the trades every morning. Open it up and it says Morris Chestnut signs on for Dante. I said, fuck, I said my dream has been disrupted right there. But I understood and I understand now that role was probably already worked out. I was just another guy that was seeing for the role.
Yeah.
And it's great to get in that position.
Because he wasn't there.
No, he was in LA, and they can't, and that's just when I started to understand the business. This is truly a business where they're going to hire the names and everything else. And if we're lucky to get that far, that's a blessing in itself. But understand this is business. And I got disheartened after that. I didn't want to do it no more after that. I said, man, I'm just, and it got to the point where I had booked some things, but that was the one that I wanted. You know what I'm saying? And if I didn't get it, I just felt like all was lost. And I started to kind of get down, and I had to find things, keep staying motivated. And I remember I was at this point where I was going to quit. And I said, we always talk about that. I said, I'm going to go, I heard Robert Townsend was coming to town for an audition for a TV show he was doing. So I was like, he's probably not going to be, I'm not going to go. My buddy, same guy that went to Carolina with me, says, hey man, just go and let me know if he's there. I said, I'm going to go, but I'm sure he's not going to be here. So I get there, and there's this long line outside, and I'm standing along with my headshot like we used to do back in the day, waiting for people to show up.
Wait, now, did your agent send you?
No, this was just
like an open call for
people that knew, just because we had a network of people back then. That was like, hey,
we talked about that on another podcast where we missed that.
Yeah, it's
where
not like that no more,
everybody,
right?
seeing everybody.
Yeah, man, it's not, and just looking out for everybody. Everybody we were sharing information because we wanted the market
Atlanta
to be
market.
Good.
That's right.
So I remember going to the audition, and I was standing in line. I called my buddy. I said, hey man, he's not here. I doubt if he's gonna come. I said, I'm gonna just wait 10 more minutes, and this limo pulls up, and Robert Townsend, hey, hello everyone, we're gonna start in a few minutes. I called him, you better get here. He's here right now. You better get here. You know what I'm saying? So I met Robert Townsend, and we had to do monologues in front of everybody. You had to do your monologue in front of everybody.
So it's like a theater.
It was just, if 50 people sitting in a room, they're waiting audition, you were next.
I got you.
So we had to get up there and do our monologue, and he stopped me halfway through. He says, wait. He said, and he gave me an improv right in front of everybody. I did the improv and had a pretend like I was the devil talking to God, trying to get somebody to come with me. And at that point, he told me, hey, he brought me to his show. It was a show called Thug Angels we did. It was a pilot.
Okay.
We shot, and it was a great experience. We met at Evander Holyfield's house to have the initial meeting about it. And Evander Holyfield's not as tall as I thought he was.
The old Evander Holyfield.
The old,
which is now Rick Ross's house.
Right, that house. And that experience, man, just working with that guy for 2 years was amazing. He taught me how to direct. He taught me how to just keep moving in this business. A lot of people don't know that him and Denzel started out as roommates in New York. They were roommates, and Denzel got the call to go to New York. Denzel just took off, very young. And Towns was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And that's when he started to write and produce his own stuff like Hollywood Shuffle. Him and Keenan would do all that stuff. And
that's pivoted.
That's what you got to do. But he kept telling me, Dwayne, Hollywood does not need you. You got to prove them they need you. You create your own content. So I wrote and produced and directed my first film. It was a romantic comedy called 4 Minutes. I wrote it in 15 days. We shot it in 15 days for $20,000. I wrote it in about 6 weeks. Me and a buddy, Charles Saunders, we sat down at Applebee's every day from Monday through Thursday and just write. So
fucking Applebee's didn't make no money on table number 12.
We did give one of the girls. We used one of the girls, the waitress name. Her name was Juanita. So we're gonna put you in our movie, and we ended up using her name. So that's her claim to fame. But other than that, man, that was our first shot to just really make something happen. And I didn't know what I was doing when I shot my first movie.
All right, so what were you doing for work every day?
I was still barbering part-time. I would go and, and the thing about barbering, and I tell actors all the time, you got to have that kind of job that allows you to go and come without no repercussions.
Right, you can't have a 9 to 5.
Unless you got a cool-ass manager.
But you can't, not in the market here. They don't understand. Even in LA, I bet they don't understand.
Right, so I was able to do that, and I would go cut hair, and if I had a 2 o'clock audition, I would leave by 1, go to my audition, come back at 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
And I would come back, and some of my clients would be sitting in other people's chairs like, damn, I done missed it. It got to the point where certain clients knew I wasn't gonna be there because I was so in and out. They would just go to somebody else for good.
Yeah.
So that you lose clients, but it just gave me that flexibility to be able to go.
Right. But you barbered the whole time.
Oh yeah.
So you had that to fall on.
Mm-hmm. And you until 2011. Yeah. I was able to support myself and survive while even going through divorce and everything else. It was just a lot at one point. But I think that we all have to find that job. And one day, Mr. Townsend came to the barbershop and get his hair cut. He would come there from time to time, and he said, "I see what you're doing, man." He said, this is your day job, and I'm on a night shift, meaning you'll have your job from 9 to 5, whatever you got to do, from 5 to however long you want to go. That's when you chase your dream.
Yeah.
And I was able to do that. I would leave there and go start class or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So,
right. So
yeah.
how long were you on Townsend's show?
We did 2 years of not that show, but it was a pilot we shot. And at the time, it was a thing called Black Family Channel they were doing, and they had investors and everything. It was starting to take off, but something happened. They ended up having to shut down. And this was before Tyler Perry Studio. So essentially, he was the first guy that was doing this. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't realize that, but he was the first owner of a studio here, a black owner of a studio here, and he had a vision. And I just don't think when you don't have that support that you need, man, it's kind of hard to sustain. You know, you need running a studio is no joke. I saw it firsthand. You had to deal with so much of the politics of it, the financial aspect of it, just managing personalities. You know, even the productions we do now, you know, that energy starts from the top. If it's if it's not what it needs to be, it's gonna crumble.
What's he doing now, Townsend?
He still produces and directed. We took a trip, me, him, and my boy John Whitley. Went down to St. Thomas a couple years back, had a vacation. So he said, you know, he's still
so you
writing.
stay in touch with him?
Oh yeah, he's still writing. He's still producing. Still, I think he directed some things. I didn't know he did Flash and not Flash. I'm sorry, Black Lightning. Yes, he did Black Lightning. He did a couple episodes of The Best Man. From what a lot of people say, oh, you know, Townsend. Yeah. Oh, okay, man. So he's still doing his thing, man.
So you thought you had made it with Townsend for sure?
You know, I didn't look at it like that. You know, by that time, I had already experienced all the stuff I experienced. So I realized
some letdown.
I realized. I said, okay, this is an opportunity to learn from this guy. A lot of people, you know, because when he was first starting out, we wasn't getting paid. There was no money to pay us. This was a brand new upstart studio. He said, I'm going to teach you guys how to do this and that. But, you know, come work for me. You know what I'm saying? And
so he cast other people in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. A lot of us got opportunities. And what I watched it, man, I was over there at this Black Family Channel studio. I was painting walls in the middle of the night, taking whatever I had to do because I wanted to learn from this guy. And people thought, I said, Dwayne, you crazy. You're not getting paid. You're not getting paid to do this, man. Why are you doing this? I said, listen, this guy has made a way for himself. I said, there's nothing he can pay me that's going to substitute the knowledge I'm going to get from him.
Right,
and that's what I looked at it as. I looked at it as an opportunity to learn and grow and develop. And he's gave me so many opportunities to learn and just nuggets he would talk to me about, the same things he would say. And I'm a big fan of his work already, Fire Heartbeats and everything else. So to work up under him for 2 years was amazing.
Yeah,
man.
Did it ever make any money?
I think they ended up having to get shut down for whatever reason. I think it was something came out, man, that I don't know. It was.
So y'all were all dropped, basically.
Oh yeah, it went from we were in production to everything just. It was a Friday when that came down. So I believe, and I don't know if it was something happened with Willie Gary where he couldn't support the network. I think he was the one over there. It was him, Vanna Holyfield, Marlon Jackson, one of the Jackson brothers, Alvin, one of the media guys, and it was just a bunch of people that came together. But Willie Gary was the one that was really financially supporting the project, from what I understood. And something happened that he couldn't afford him to do it no more, and he just stopped.
Wow. Yeah, and just shut the doors.
Shut the doors, and we went from having promise to all these ideas for networks to everybody's out of a job just like that.
Yeah.
Everybody.
And once again, here we are at the bottom.
Right back at ground zero. You know what I'm saying? Trying to figure this out. So at that point,
close.
At that point, I was already, you know, like I said, you know, writing and producing and stuff more. So I just started to focus on that more and still do gigs here too. And I think the fun of it too, man, is that's the creating this part of it. It's just figuring out what you're capable of doing, you know, and that is, you have to constantly reinvent yourself in this business.
Yeah.
You can't just stay, if you just stay as acting and it works, great, but that's not going to be everybody's path.
Right, especially in this market, especially in the Southeast.
Yeah, man.
All right, so after Townsend, what'd you do?
After Townsend, I went.
You still with two agents?
I still with two. Well, at that point, I think I had a meeting with People Store, and they kind of pulled me in and says, hey, we need you to be exclusive. That's when everybody started to kind of grab their talent, the ones that they felt like were working. Yep. And Rita Murphy, Harrell now, so she called me and said, come in and says, hey, Dwayne, we want you to go ahead and sign with us exclusive. If not, we're going to drop you. So I had to make a decision, and I looked at who put me to work, who I was working with the most. I can say put me to work. But I stayed with People Store. You know, they were the big dogs at the time. So, you know what I'm saying? So I ended up staying with People Store, and I was good because, they're like that. Like, I love every other agency that I work with, but People Store was more like, it was just, and like Rick was new over there. He was an intern. Yep. You know, and now he's vice president or something. So
I don't know. I think he's president.
President now, president. So I started over there with them, man, and just watching that whole family unit grow, and it was something that because I was with. For a hot minute, I was with the talent group. You remember the talent group? Yep. Brenda and Joy was together. Yeah. So that's where I started. That was my first big agency. Then they ended up going to People Store, and you had to re-audition to get in the People Store. Yeah. And I had a little fake demo reel that I had put together. It was a demo reel, but it was a bunch of independent stuff. And they ended up letting me stay on, and that's how
Same dude from McDonald's did that?
Same guy, yeah. But no, he and we went in there, and I ended up signing with People Store more. And I was booking a lot of commercials. You know, we were working on something together, commercials and TV shows, and that's the golden age of Atlanta. To be honest with you, that's when when people, all eyes were on Atlanta, man. We were working every month, right?
Yeah.
Doing something like two or three gigs a month.
No, I agree. Yeah, and we had this. I didn't realize we had such the same path because I was with the talent. TMA, and then the talent group.
Doing talent group too. Okay, wow.
Where I was there in
all the way up there. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Man, I went there one time. I said
Loganville,
Lawrenceville.
Lawrenceville. And then Brenda joined Rebecca over at People Store, and then I went People Store, and then I was with Houghton and People Store at the same time.
We got the same story, man.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah. So I just feel like that journey really allowed me to get my wings up under me and say, okay, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And I got to continually figure it out. And that's what, even with when I do set coaching for people or I produce and stuff like, I get People Store involved because I want them to, of course, negotiate everything for me. But I like that, like information, just knowledge, just talking to Rick and say, how you feel about this? Now that we're in this phase where everything is streaming, there's a lot of things I didn't know about. So I'm in the middle of a deal now where we did a comedy show. It's called Ricky Smiley 3 the Hard Way, and I produced it and created it, and we shot it, and now we're in the stages of pitching it to network. So Rick has a lot of information about stuff like that. So Rick and Breon and Brian's still over there. So they've been helping out with a lot of that.
That's cool.
A lot of the pitches.
So when Townsend, what was it, Black Family Network?
Black Family Channel, yeah.
Black Family Channel. When they closed down, you were back to square one.
Yeah, and the thing about Townsend, man, he was such a great guy is that, as I teach classes, acting class, I've been teaching it for over 20 years now. And he's told me, he said, hey, man, I see what you're doing. Because we didn't have a home at that time. We were moving from wherever we could teach class. Like I started in a buddy's editing suite. Then I went over to another place, and kept getting put out of place. It's hard to find acting class space. So it was at one point, man. I was teaching in a courthouse in the evening, over in not Clarkson, over in Latonia area, that area. You know what I'm saying? And we ended up getting locked out of there one night, and I just said, I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. And Robert Townsend was like, hey, man, bring your classes over here. And you're working for me, so you don't pay rent.
All right, so we'll get on that now. So you started teaching when? You said
2003, August 2003. Buddy of mine, Eric, same guy. We would teach at his house. We would get just after getting together. Hey man, you take a script. Let's critique each other.
You did it just for chicks?
That too, yeah. That too. That part, no. That comes with the territory, right?
No, but like, how many credits did you have when you started teaching?
Man, Surface and a couple others that really mattered. Commercials and stuff. But I think it wasn't a teaching thing first. It was more so.
Working the craft.
Just we all gonna figure this out together. And then it became a thing where everybody started to say, hey, let's come over here. They're doing this. So nobody was really doing it. I think Nick was the only one in town at the time, right? Yeah. And maybe a couple other people. But there was not a whole lot of that. So at the time, I felt like a lot of us were not prepared for things and everything else. So we kind of just formed this little network of actors that got together, and that's what started Premier Actors Network in 2003.
Okay.
Yeah.
So talk about that. What is that?
So something I've been doing for the past, last year made 20 years, and I couldn't really celebrate the 20-year anniversary because we were on strike, and I thought it would be insensitive. We started in August of 2003, so we're in 20 years now, and it just helped so many other actors find their way.
And you started?
Yeah, I just started. Me and Eric started together, but Eric kind of went his own way, and we started to kind of drift apart because he was doing some other things. I think he ended up going overseas to work for the government. So he, that was around that 2007 time, that layoff stuff everybody was going through. Yeah. So I just kept it going, man. It was
smart
hard.
guy.
Yeah. Hey,
compared to me and you.
Hey, come on,
He's
man.
He's fucking making money, bro.
He said, hey, straight. He said, you know what I'm saying? So at that point, man, just keeping doors open was a challenge. And I again, running into Townsend, or even a lady named Roberta Morris who worked for the Gab Workforce, she ended up helping me get into a workforce building where the rent was relatively cheap and I can still do what I need to do. Yeah. So when the Port of Sanford opened in 2010, where I'm at currently, I've been there since 2010.
That's a building?
That's a performing arts center. It's a $20 million facility. It's an incredible, it's an amphitheater, a big 500-seat theater. It's incredible.
Where's that?
Over in DeKalb County.
Okay.
And from that point, I was able to, from 2010, I've been over there ever since, man. Yeah, so it's been great. Yeah.
Cool. So then Townsend left, back to it. So what was the next biggest role? What did you do? Like, how you went for how long?
I was able to...
A couple of months?
And I ended up booking a role for a movie called The Gospel, which was Will Packer's project. Okay. Rob Hardy directed. And that was my first national film where I was like one of the characters that was featured real heavy in that movie.
Yeah. Multiple
scenes on day, set multiple days. And I tell you, man, and again, it's that moment where you up here and that, it was a great experience, man. Red carpet, the whole nine, man. It was just incredible. I'm working with Idris Elba, Boris Kodjoe, all these guys that I've always watched and wanted to work with. And I got to experience that whole shift of being in a national film where everybody, and I'll never forget, man, I was still cutting hair. So I did the movie and whatever. I would go back to the barbershop and cut hair. And one guy called one of the barbers up there and says, hey, man, I'm watching this movie right now on TV, and this guy works in the barbershop with you. Is he in the movie? I said, oh, yeah, that's him. said, what happened to him? Is he on drugs or something? They thought I was that rich where I didn't have to go back to cut hair. That is so far from the truth.
No shit.
Now, I had to...
No shit.
People see you on TV, and Boris culture told me, people see you on TV, they think you're going to be rich.
Right.
And it's just not, man, you
yeah.
a few $1,000s, you right back to work, right?
Right.
So, yeah.
But at least now you can go to the barbershop and tell Griff to fuck off.
I could do that, yeah.
Right. He's laughing now, motherfucker.
Right. And it was a great
This is
experience.
it.
And that led to other opportunities. People saw me and stuff, and saw me in that and would give me other independent films and stuff like that. So that was great. But yeah, from that, I was able to, again, you need these little small victories to stay motivated and focused.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and then when you don't have them, it sucks. And when you do have them, it's great.
Yeah. And then you got to be happy for everyone else, man. A lot of people start getting opportunities in this market. So I started to see people get serious regulars roles in this market. We had never got that kind of stuff before here.
Yeah.
You know, so to see people start working more, and it just made it more obtainable and more of a reality for us, you know.
So do you think Atlanta market is better today or worse today?
I think it's worse.
Yeah.
And I say that because of once eyes got on Hollywood, man, they came here and I felt like we started being taken advantage of.
Actors.
You know? Yeah, actors, and just the market in general, you know. I feel like, and again, you can't tell people who to hire, but I think the people who are allowing this stuff to come, they got to fight for us more, and I don't think that's happening enough.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of times they'll come here and get the tax incentives and everything else, clean up, and it was so telling, man. Even I did the movie Hunger Games back in North Carolina, and the director was just like amazed that we could even.
Correct.
These guys are really acting.
Correct.
You know, like
Correct.
These guys can talk. You know, basically like we, you know.
Yeah.
So I was like, damn, you know.
Wow,
but
they got no country accent.
right. He was blown away.
Wow.
You know, he's a local. Can you believe this? You know,
black guy has an education.
Right. So I felt like at that point, man, whenever these opportunities come here, man, they got to fight for us harder because I don't feel like that's happening. I feel
And
like
when you say they, you mean agents.
You got to say
casting directors,
everybody. And I know it's hard because they don't want to lose the job.
I agree with you.
You know,
no, they're afraid. I agree. And I
just,
told my agent that, and they got pissed at me. But I think that's the case. You know,
you got to.
It's
man.
a business, man. But they're so worried that they're going to go to the next agent or they're going to go to the next person,
and that's
so they don't fight for us.
Yeah, but I think that has to be across the board with everything, even the way we slate, man. That needs to be one general way to slate. Don't you agree with that?
Yeah.
I don't want to have to figure out this way and this. You know.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of inconsistencies, but that comes with the taping now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I miss, and I was talking about this the other day, but at another podcast, but another episode was, you know, I miss being in the room, man.
Yeah.
I'm the best in the room, you know. I can't.
Well, you gonna book the room. You got that kind of personality.
Yeah, and
you know,
that's what an actor should be.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But the problem is, submit two takes, do one this way, and then try something different. Well, fucking. What does that mean? Now, if I'm sitting in front of the director, Townsend, for instance, and he's like, all right, and like he did with you, here's an improv, you know, fucking I can kill it or whatever. And we don't have that anymore. And it's disadvantage. Man. It's not only a disadvantage to me and you, it's a disadvantage to the business.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because and then you get people that are inexperienced and that suck and never been on a set or act shitty or, you know, because they looked good on tape.
Then they have to go into the set and they realize we cast the wrong person.
Right. Yeah.
It's tough, man. But every project presents its own problems. You know that. Have you ever been in a project where you like you booked it and they got to set like this ain't what I thought it was going to be?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And those are the worst though when you get there like, man, I was just so, you know, hell-bent on making this work and it's just not fitting right now. So.
Yeah, and then you're stuck.
Yeah, but you would know that kind of stuff if you got in the room more.
Correct.
You know, that's the thing.
Correct. And you may not want the role once you get in the role.
Right.
You can tell them beforehand.
I will say, like I said, the last time I remember I had a good experience in the room was Peter Hedges. I did a movie for Disney called I Life of Timothy Green. And Peter had you come in, and Jackie Birch, I love Jackie. She would bring us in and everything. And you had to keep going in there with Peter. He would switch around, this. And I knew this guy was a heavy improv guy because he just finished a movie called Dan in Real Life with Steve Carell. So I said, I got to be improv ready. And that's what he had you do in that room, man. That was so much fun, you know. I miss those days.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah. Totally missed that part. So you mentioned you get on a job that you don't like. What's you don't have to name names. You can. What's the shittiest production you ever been on?
You know, man, I won't say. I just think that certain directors bring certain energy.
Correct, 100%.
And you know, with us being here, they feel like they can talk to us any kind of way, and you know, us not wanting to ruffle the feathers, we won't go back and forth. But at this point, I say, look, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? You know, and I have to remember that they're people, and they don't deserve any respect they're not giving you. You know what I'm saying? So
correct.
It's a partnership at this point. We're trying to create this moment here. Tell me what you want, and because again, I only got what I got in that audition when I self-submitted.
Correct.
You know, we did table read, you didn't say nothing. Now we get to say it. Now it's a problem.
Correct.
What are we doing here? So I think that's what we're missing in the room is that what do you want? Like, what is your vision as a director? What is your vision for this role? And that's what I don't think we get to have now. If we're good enough to get to set, now we have to pivot on a dime. And it's unfortunate, man, because you're not as prepared as you normally would be if you know you got in the room with the director and you know what they want and they're looking for. You don't have any to talk with the director until you get to set or at the callback.
Correct.
And there's not even callbacks anymore, really. You know what I'm saying?
And when you meet the director, it might be literally 2 minutes before you're going to shoot your scene.
That's true.
You got no rapport with them. You have no idea, and that's the hardest thing. We equated this the other day was, you're like an army brat to bring up army, but you're like a kid that just moved into a damn middle school, and you're sitting there the first day of lunch in your tray, and you get your your rectangle pizza and your lima beans, your fucking white milk, and you look around, you don't know who the fuck to sit with. And ain't nobody coming up to you saying sit with me.
No.
And that's the way you feel on set.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Man, you hit that right on the head. And I feel like too, man, and and not to beat it, but I just feel like the respect thing is the most important thing. And they know we're actors and we're sensitive about our performances and everything else. And tell us, but I got to work with Michael Beach recently. Incredible guy to work with. Third Watch, he's done a bunch of movies that we sat and talked about his projects. He did Cadence. He's done just everything. He's just a great guy, and he was so giving. And everybody's not like that.
Yeah, no.
So even on that set, it was a challenge because, again, I had a different idea about this character I was portraying than the director had. I was like, no, it's this. No, it's this. How am I supposed to know that if I just got the side?
Correct.
And I have nothing else. I have made my decision that got me to set, but now I'm on set. You're telling me it's totally different.
Right.
So that was a problem, man.
And you're so busy, you got no time for me because I'm fucking nobody in your eyes.
Yeah.
But come talk to me. Give me fucking 20 minutes of your time.
That was yeah. But we ended up working it out. I just wished you'd have that old, like going to table reads back in the past was fun because you got to see if anything needed to change.
Yeah,
they changed it right there. It's like, oh no, it's more like this. Do this.
Yeah.
We don't have that experience. We don't. Again, everything is so micro shot now. Everything is we doing this in this window and that's it.
Yeah.
Which
takes away from creativity.
Oh, 100%.
Which takes away from quality.
100%.
Yeah.
But I blame the streamers on that, man, because and I took a writer's workshop a couple years ago, a writer's guild workshop. It was a year-long program. I got in. It was a veterans program where they would bring in 50 military veterans every year and teach them writing.
Oh.
I took it to be able to become a better producer so I could recognize what was good about a script or even write myself from time to time. But I don't want to be a writer. I didn't want to be a writer. I'm a writer because I have to, because I got to create content. But I had a great writing guy named Clay Froman. He wrote a movie called Defiant, starring Daniel Craig in 2009.
Okay.
And he's just done a lot of great stuff. It's an incredible writer. And one thing I realized from that standpoint, man, but even writers, they don't get to go to set too much no more. They're starting to say, keeping them away, just buying their projects and say, go away. I learned that in that part of it is that as an actor, as a writer, you write a project, whatever, and you have this idea for what the actor should do. We have to now, hopefully, get what they was trying to say in that moment, in that scene, where because we never get the full script. It's pretty much just his portion. So hopefully you're making the right decision, and that's where the disconnect is happening, man. Right. I'm sitting, I'm thinking I'm playing somebody who's in a underground swinging sex club or something, and I'm thinking I'm part of it because I'm there, and it's no, you're not, like you're still upset. What is he doing in this environment?
Right.
What is he doing here? So that was the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, it's just the streaming and me and Tiffany Morgan were talking about this, Tiffany Morgan, and we were talking about how there's so much content now that they don't really care about quality. You know what I mean?
That's gone.
And they just put it out. Let's just let's spin it and put it out. Let's fucking
and the problem with that too, man. You gotta think you'll watch a whole show in 2 weeks and be done with that whole season, and then now you waiting for the next season, and they can't. There was a show I love with Josh Brolin. It was called Open Range. Yeah, it was on. It was Open Range. It was Open Range. It was on Amazon. Great show. They hadn't come out with another season because it probably should take so long to shoot. But I'm looking for another season like next month.
Right.
I watched Get Shorty, the TV series, which was amazing, and they did 3 seasons, and I watched that maybe 2 weeks, man. 3 seasons in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's you got to hurry, and the writers aren't, and that's why the strike happened, because these writers aren't getting paid to have to write as fast as they are. And everything is just so quickly done now. It's no quality then.
Right. No, I agree. What's your favorite movie of all time?
Godfather,
original.
Hands down. Yep.
How many times you seen it?
I watched it maybe 3 or 4 times. I watched the trilogy while I was in the program, and I was a big Goodfellas. I love mafia movies. I'm just drawn to that. But The Godfather was the complete film. It had just damn everything in it.
It's one of the best films of all time.
Right, betrayal, revenge, love, family.
It's one of the best films of all time.
And Pacino's arc in that movie was amazing, man. This guy went from this college kid that's so to now he's murdering somebody in a restroom. You know what I'm saying? And I got to work on a project with him
Spoiler alert.
What's that?
Godfather, if they've never seen it.
Yeah, you got to see that.
No, I'm joking. A fucking movie's from 1976 or 78.
A lot of people
Everybody's
seen
seen it.
A lot of people
Well, then you're not an actor.
it.
Fuck off. Go do something else. Go cut hair.
I work. I work with him, and I just didn't realize because I went back and watched Godfather again. I didn't realize how great this guy was.
Oh man.
Yeah, Pacino was.
But the cast in that film was amazing. Who's your favorite character? Him?
You know, it was Sonny.
Me too.
Sonny, man. Sonny was that hothead. We all know it was Sonny. We all know Sonny growing up.
Me too.
And Sonny was gonna get dealt with eventually, right? Because he was just too much of a hothead. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So Sonny was. I've
watched that movie probably 20 times, man.
Yeah, man. 2 was good. 3 was
Yeah, but me and Martin were talking about this earlier. Remakes and fucking trilogies and even sequels, man. Right. I'm not a big fan of.
No, man.
You do something so great.
Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
There's no reason to touch.
If they remake The Godfather, y'all gonna come to my funeral because it's fucking over for me.
They're gonna shoot themselves in the face. There's no way. I feel like even with Color Purple, man. I feel like certain movies just were great for that time period.
Yeah.
There's no reason
they remade that fucking.
Yeah. There's no reason.
Times.
Well, they did the musical.
Play.
This was the musical, right? The play and everything. But my point is, if it caught that magic in the bottle at that time, we got to leave it be.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like you're trying. But see, studios, one thing I understood is that they want to. First of all, you shoot the stuff they already own. There's not a whole lot of back and forth with financially of that. But also, nobody wants to get fired. Everybody wants to do what's safe, and that's why we see so many remakes now, man. I mean, you got to be bold and daring. What's the greatest film you've seen in the past 5 or 10 years that was original?
Oh, I don't know, man. I haven't seen a great film in 5 or 10 years. I don't know.
I'm a horror film.
Yeah, what's yours?
Movie called 2015, I think it was 14, called The Babadook. You see The Babadook? Anybody seen The Babadook? Amazing, right? Amazing. Really? It was just the psychological aspect of a horror film, mother-son relationship.
Yeah.
It was amazing. If you get a chance, check that out. And I saw this movie a couple years back called I Care a Lot. It was great. I thought it was just...
I Care a Lot?
I Care a Lot, yeah. About the girl with the industry. She was pretty much stealing people's, older folks' money. It was just the craziest thing, but it was just a great film. So I think that, there's ways to make classics now, but nobody's willing to do it.
Sure. No, creative movies. There's ways to make creative, great movies. And, I think of Tarantino. He's done a fucking ton of really, I mean, when you saw Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, come on, man.
It blew everybody away.
It sure did.
And then at the end, how it all intertwines back, you're like, damn, that blew you away.
Yeah, Reservoir Dogs. I was a fan of
Reservoir Dogs. Django was fucking amazing. I love Django.
Yeah, but see, Quentin had the cheat code. He was in a video store and watched all these movies, man. He knew. He went in knowing he was going to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a fan of just great storytelling. Like when I saw No Country for Old Men, man, that blew me away. I said, this guy, Anton Chigurh, is going to win the Oscar.
Yeah.
And he did. That was just, I tell people to this day, if I come home and that dude's sitting outside in front of my house, I'm never going to the house.
No, you got to leave.
Yeah. Right.
You got to drive.
That was just so, I missed that, man. I missed the movie theater on Terra Boulevard, man. That's why I would go see all my great films because I got to stay away from the Hollywood stuff more so, the big blockbusters. And I would go, if I wanted to be entertained and really see something thought-provoking, I would go. I saw a movie called Safety Not Guaranteed. Mark Duplass. Great film, man. It's a time travel movie. It's the craziest thing, but it was just such a great performance. And I missed that.
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah. No, I miss the Dollar Theater where you could go. I miss theaters, man. They're still
They're not doing theaters no more.
Yeah,
What's the last movie you saw in the theater?
Well, I was telling these guys earlier, I saw a shitty one the other day, The Beekeeper. Man, so damn hokey. And I mean, action films are great, but man, when you beat up 7 FBI agents and they're in battle gear and machine guns are going off at you and they don't touch you, and then you're shooting with a pistol.
Come on, man.
And the other thing about movies like that, man, I thought about this the other day. I have unfortunately seen someone in my life get shot, and you don't die instantly. You know what I'm saying?
Did the person die you saw get shot?
No, thank God. One of my good buddies. But the point is every movie, fucking shot, dead. Shot, dead.
Nobody's
which means takes out their machine gun. You know what I mean? Like, once you shoot this motherfucker, you ain't got to worry about it anymore. That's wrong. That motherfucker's hurting, but he's going to blast you in the back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. So I feel like,
weird.
But the John Wick stuff, and I'm a James Bond fan. This new James Bond. I like this guy.
All right,
I like Daniel Craig. He was amazing.
All right, hold on, stop. Who's your favorite James Bond? Because you're my age. Who's your favorite James Bond?
I didn't watch James Bond till now.
Have you ever watched any of the other ones?
Never got into it, man.
See, Roger Moore.
Roger Moore was the guy.
When I grew up, man.
Okay.
He was the best. But that's an
He's the one I remember the most.
Sean Connery?
You know what I'm saying? Sean Connery was before my time.
Okay.
But Roger Moore was the guy in the 80s. He was the guy I knew.
Yeah.
But I never was drawn to that until now. I feel like this guy, Daniel Craig, was really scrappy enough to pull it off. He just had this quiet danger about him. It just worked, man. And he was cool with it, man.
And those movies being action, you do have to suspend reality for sure.
Yeah.
But it is that could happen.
Yeah,
like, you know, like
he's
it
just
could.
extremely lucky, extremely lucky.
Right.
You know,
he looks over, sees an extension cord, like fucking a hook. You know, like okay, I got it. You know.
Right.
But and then he does something cool. It could happen.
But that's what started all those kind of films. Is
Right.
Everybody wanted to be James Bond. They would just create their own. But to me, Daniel Craig, it seemed like if he was running after you, man, he was gonna get you, and he was all on it.
Yeah.
I just bought that guy.
Yeah.
I was sitting at home over the pandemic. I started watching him.
Yeah.
And I watched all of them.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about Peter Dinklage. You know him?
Yeah, man, come on, he's great. He's in that movie I Care a Lot.
Yeah. But we were joking because he gets angry like
Mm-hmm.
at the industry and how he's not treated equally and all. And to be fair, he is a little person. I don't know the correct politically correct term, and I'm not politically correct, so it doesn't matter. But I was saying, you know, if he wants to be in an action film, let's see that motherfucker steal a car. How's he gonna do that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got a point.
You don't want to laugh because you don't want to get locked up on that. But it's okay. It's my podcast. Ain't some people gonna watch it.
I can blame it on you.
But
right?
I'm thinking Daniel Craig or any James Bond, they always have a badass car scene.
That's true.
Let's see this motherfucker. We're gonna have a couple phone books and be, you know, that's fucked up, man. It's fucked up.
Yeah, you got a point though.
We'll edit that out. We won't. We won't edit that out. No, I'm trying to end my career right now because I don't have a career.
Well, that's how it goes, man. You got to say stuff like that to get.
Is that what it is? That's why I said it.
Man.
Not because I believe it, because I do believe it. Don't be an asshole. You made it. Don't be a dick.
Yeah, that's
Go ahead. You want to be an action hero? Let's see it.
Hey, I watch a lot of podcasts now. Those are the sound bites they take and they go viral.
He's dragging an AK-47 because it's too long. Anyway, so back to it. My point is, all right, who's your favorite actor?
Favorite actor at this point, because you know it changes over years.
Yeah.
I used to be a big Kevin Spacey fan before he got out of
Really?
trouble, man. Oh, Kevin Spacey was amazing to me, but realizing the characters he played were closer to who he is. You know, he played that off the handle guy all the time.
Yeah.
I'm a big Lawrence Fishburne fan. I like Jeffrey Wright too. Jeffrey Wright is great. He's incredible.
You heard about his problems recently?
No, what happened?
Oh, he owes over $1 million in taxes.
Jeffrey Wright?
Yeah.
Sure?
I'm positive.
Is it Terrence Howard? It's still about Terrence Howard.
Terrence
That's
Howard.
Terrence
Jeffrey
Howard.
Wright. I get him mixed up. Yeah. No, I like Jeffrey Wright. I like them both.
Jeffrey was he was even in Bond. That guy's just
Jeffrey
great.
Wright hadn't been around for a while though. What has he done recently?
You know, he was in the Bond movies. He stays working on it. He's nominated for the Oscar this year, right?
American Fiction.
Yeah, American Fiction.
I
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
but
He's in a Bond movie.
I got it.
He's Felix in the Bond movies. Felix, right? That's Felix in the Bond movies.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
and he, but you know, every time he was in Westworld, every time I see this guy, man, every time I see this, who'd you say? He killed people on Hernandez, Basquiat, everything. This guy's just anything he gets into, he just slides in, man. He's just amazing to watch. I even like I don't know. There's just so many, man. It's hard to pick one person, but I feel like I just like if you tell a good story and I'm all in, I'm invested. I'm going to pick you as one of my favorite actors for this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who would you love to work with?
You know, I like to work with. I say more so now. I don't because you know you meet these people, man, and you know.
Yeah, well, that's the old saying. You don't want to meet you can't meet your heroes.
Oh man,
You know what I mean? Because once you're like, like you're like Evander Short.
I work with some
heavyweight
people,
champion of the world.
Some people nice, some people not. I got to work with Lamron Livingston. I'm a fan of his from, of course, Swingers.
Yeah.
And we sat all day long, just talked to him. Said he was really nice. The dad from that '70s show was nice. Great. Like I said, Michael Beach. This was somebody that, you know, these are guys that I grew up watching. So anybody in that era, like Pacino, we didn't get to talk to Pacino. He would come, do a scene, and go back. You know, he didn't really discuss anything with you. So he, you know, to be able to work with these people that you admire and look up to, man, and hopefully they're nice people.
Yeah.
And sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. So
And sometimes you catch them on a bad day, because like
that's true.
Because people ask me, and I'm like, man, Denzel was fucking awesome. You know?
Sure,
like,
yeah.
He was super cool. I hung out with him 2 days and had a great time with him and all that, and we were just alone and blah blah blah. And then I met somebody who was like, man, worst person I ever worked with. I'm like, for real?
No. It's
for real.
It's the day. It's the circumstances.
Yeah.
You know, because I met the first time I met Terrence Howard, he was kind of rude. You know what I'm saying? But he came up and apologized. Hey man, it was early in the morning. I apologized, and I was cool with it. I said, I get it.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, man, everybody's and that was the same project I worked with Jeffrey Wright on. Was that project called Boycott back in 2001?
Yeah, I was on that.
Yeah, you was on Boycott. So what'd you do on Boycott?
Racist fireman.
Okay. I can see that. I'm saying.
Yeah, typecast. Yeah.
But I was Jeffrey Stanley.
I mean, it's a fireman part.
Okay, no, I was Jeffrey Stanley on that project, man, for about 2 weeks, and just watching that guy's process. And, And I thought he was really Hispanic or whatever, or Dominican or whatever. He played in Shaft, and come find out this guy's a chameleon. He can do it all, man.
Yeah.
So that's somebody I would like to work with now that I know what I know, and I think that but you never meet your. I had a friend of mine that worked with The Rock. Wasn't you know, it was kind of like, man, he's not as nice as I thought he would be.
Yeah.
You know, I worked with Common. He was cool to work with. We got
for
real
real?
cool on set. Yeah, man, he was cool to work with. We worked on that Disney movie. He was cool. But, you know, it's just different people, man. Like, I met with Jennifer Lawrence, you know, Hunger Games, of course. This was right before her ascend, too.
Yeah,
you know? She was on her way up.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, man. Liam Hemsworth was mad cool on that set. Liam Hemsworth, Chris Hemsworth's brother, Thor's brother. Yeah. We sat for hours and talked about how his brother became Thor and all this stuff, and they were both up for the role. So that was dope, man.
He's bigger, Chris.
Yeah, the younger Chris,
No, I'm saying Chris stronger.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He looks more like Thor.
He looks more like Thor, 100%.
Yeah.
You know, we talked about it. But I saw Jennifer Lawrence come to set one morning, and she was like, "Oh my God, I was trying to get this smoothie, and I couldn't. The line was too long. I rushed here today." By the time she finished that story, she had a smoothie in her hand.
Oh yeah.
I said, "Damn." I said, "Well, I like the smoothie." I said, "Well, you can go downstairs and right down the bottom of the steps." I said, "Okay." So I realized we wasn't in the same bracket. You know what I'm saying?
And then you went downstairs, and they still didn't give you a fucking smoothie.
Right.
Like, where's Dwayne? Where's Dwayne? Hey, where's that guy who's supposed to be here? I don't know his name.
Yeah, but that was a great experience, man, on that set, watching that whole process. I didn't realize Hunger Games was big. At the time, Alexander White was a People Store. He was my agent at People Store. And I got the call back to do that movie, for the callback for that. And I was like, Hunger Games, what is that, an independent film? I'm not going. I had the callback the same day I was directing a play over at Champion Middle School, directing The Wiz. And this was like because I'm a big Wiz fan. Like, that's one of my favorite musicals. I don't do musicals. The Wiz is my favorite musical. Yeah. So I got to direct it. And I was like, this is something happening. I've got 30 kids. I'm in love with all these kids. I'm like, oh, you guys are amazing. Let's do this. And I get a call Saturday. You got to go to North Carolina for a callback. I said, I can't go. I can't let these kids down. I got a show. Right. You know, and they was like, well, you got to go. I told Alex, I said, I'm not going, man. I can't. He said, you're going to this callback. So I said, all right, man. I had my assistant director take the show, and I went up there and didn't realize it was Hunger Games. When I got to set, man, I saw these kids carrying these books, man, and how big that project was. And, you know, kids were passing out because it was so hot in North Carolina. They were standing in the reaping scene. It was like a few days.
These are extras.
Extras.
Yeah.
They were passing out. They were just moving another kid up. You know what I'm saying? So it was the craziest. I was like, damn. You know, because I had on the Hunger Games, the helmet and the gloves and the boots, and it's 102 degrees. I'm just trying to make sure my legs don't lock and pass out, man. It was
military training.
Oh yeah, that's when I had to kick in for that. I said, don't pass out, don't pass out.
Don't lock your knees.
It was sweat. There was sweat coming down, man. It was so hot out there. Them kids was dropping left and right.
Was this the first Hunger Games?
The first one, yeah,
okay.
the first one.
So you didn't know what it was? I mean,
no, I had no clue. But when I saw all these kids on set with the books, this might be a big project, and that was probably the biggest residual I ever got. Man, it was Hunger Games. You know, what I'm saying? Back when residual was good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, thank God. Yeah. Thank God you're not the only one getting residual.
Yeah, man.
I went to the bank the other day, and she's I deposited them all except there's a 4-cent one up there. I'll probably deposit that one soon. Okay. But I had a couple of checks and residuals, and she goes, "What did you do for Disney?" And I was like, "I don't really remember, man." I was like, I said, "How much is the check for?" And she's like, "Oh, 40 cents." I'm like, "Yeah, that's why I don't remember. That was down
right.
12 years ago, but you know I'm depositing that motherfucker 40 cents.
I put all mine in my savings, man. Just go on the savings, put it in the savings.
Yeah,
don't even think about it.
You know, I'll sign them sometimes and leave them, you know, like a 4-cent one, 7-cent one. You know. I got framed one upstairs, 20 cents. The stamp's 50-something cents now, right? 40-something cents.
Man, come on, what are they doing?
All right, so who's the coolest? You mentioned a couple of cool guys, but who's the coolest person you ever worked with that you're like, man, they didn't have to be as cool?
I didn't work with Ben Affleck. Was cool. I met him through his wife. He came to the rap party, surprised everybody. He came to the rap party, and just the nicest guy.
His wife is
at the time it was Jennifer Garner.
Oh, okay.
And she was really sweet on set too, man. I remember we were in the big table read, and she came out. This was back when they were married at the time. She came out and just immediately introduced herself to everybody. I got to work. Like I said, a lot of people that I work with, man. I don't get close because I go and, you know, normally we're the
right, the new kid at school.
Rob Hardy, as a director, a good friend of mine, he explained it this way. He said when he goes and does The Flash or something, right? He's the substitute quarterback. Yeah, he comes in for that one day or whatever, 1 week or whatever, and shoots his stuff and out the way. That's how you feel on these sets. Yeah. You're not a part of the cast, so you can't make small talk with them. Whatever you try to, you don't. Right. You just there's no forcing it. Right. If they're receptive, great. If not, you move on.
However, a lot of people try to force it. And those are the annoying motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, man. Just go do your job and leave.
And they don't care about you, man. That's
no, do your job and leave. You're not a part of this cast. You know what I'm saying?
Do your job and leave.
You book the role, great. Go do your job and leave. And that's what I try to do. But I don't,
So Jennifer Lawrence was cool. I mean, yeah, no, but Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck just mad cool, man. He's bigger than again.
Yeah, tall guy, right? Big,
dude, huge, man.
Yeah.
So when they said he's playing Batman, I said I can see that him. It just didn't work out for the whole DC thing. But I thought he'd be a great Batman. They never let him be Batman like he should have been. I felt like I'm a big Batman fanatic. So I would, I would love to work with Christian Bale though, because I'm a Batman fan. Yeah. I think he would be, but he probably cussed me out.
Yeah, he's probably dick.
Yeah. I'm sure he is.
Yeah,
that's the word. But who else I met that were really, really nice and cool? Yeah, man. I worked with a lot of people, and I just try not to. I go do my job, and if they want to talk, yeah,
that's what you should do. You don't yank their arms out of socket, man. No. So many people try to do that, and for what? You know what I mean? No big deal.
What was the coolest person you ever worked with?
Coolest person, man. I don't know. I like Denzel a lot. I thought he was super cool.
I never met him or worked with him.
God, he called me. I don't know. A lot of people. I mean, all of them should be cool, right? It's the ones that are dicks is the ones you remember.
Remember the most,
and then you're like, man. But Renee Zellweger, super cool, man. She bought us all dinner one night.
Get out of here.
That was cool.
Bill Sage was cool. I worked with Bill Sage. We did a movie in North Carolina together. He was in American History, man. Yeah. I mean, American. What's the American Psycho? He was in American Psycho.
Yeah.
Which was Christian Bale's movie, and he talked about that whole experience on set. So he's one of the yuppies that was hanging out with him in them scenes. You know what I'm saying? He was great. But he's a New York actor, and I ended up going to New York, hang out with him for a while too, man. He had a project he was doing called he played this cannibal with 2 daughters in the movie or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? This is who we are, something like that. And I went to the screening for that with him as Q&A. He's just a nice guy. But yeah, he was cool to work with, man. Just, I love actors that are giving because we were the young guys coming up and trying to learn from these guys, man. And I to this day, man, I still try to soak all this stuff up and, get as much as I can, but I never try to force anything.
No, and you can't.
I did it one time. I can confess. I was working on a movie and Joe Edgerton, I'll never forget, we were on set and he was talking. And he said something like, yeah, we were playing this game, me and my girl, and I messed around and sitting in the van, and him and his girl got there. I said, oh, yeah, I heard, nice to meet you. I heard you guys were playing a game. Like, something I said, some stupid shit I said.
Yeah.
And he looked at me like, what the fuck are you talking about? This is not her. You know what I'm saying? That kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, so I noticed to shut your ass up and just don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying?
You ever had a moment on set like that where you embarrassed yourself?
Not
where your damn asshole puckered up and you're like, damn, shit.
Man, I done had a few times where, you get in your head sometimes to say it, you know what I'm saying? Of course.
A lot.
I remember we were doing Sleepy Hollow, the pilot for Fox.
Yeah.
And we ended up getting to North Carolina, and we had to be there at a certain time, like during the night, but it was a night shoot, so we shot out through the night. So the director called us to the set, and of course, he was like, let's rehearse real quick. No, let's shoot one. Nobody told me we shoot one. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got my sides or nothing yet. I don't know what we're doing. So we had to learn right there on the fly, man. And you doing all this stuff, but the guy he did all the Underworld movies, I forgot the guy's name. He's a director. He did all the Underworld movies. He was married to Mila Jovovich for a while. You know what I'm talking about? Forgot the guy's name, but nice guy to work with. And he ended up, being cool. Those are the kind of directors that you like working with. Because I told him, I said, hey man, this glass went on the ground. The last shot is gonna mess with the content. He said, oh, thanks, Dwayne. I appreciate that.
Right.
He was just a cool dude to work with. So,
and that's the way all directors should be.
It should be.
You got to have a rapport with your actor. Mm-hmm. It should be your buddies rather than working for you.
Right.
You know what I mean, or working with you. You got to have a one-on-one with the director. If not, actors get in their heads and then they're not as good at performing.
And it takes away from everything, man. I think that because you have this idea of what you're gonna do when you get set.
Yeah.
And the funky thing about it, if it doesn't match up, it bothers you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Have you ever left set frazzled about something like, oh man,
Then the whole day, and it's hard to get out of your head.
Yeah, you get in bed 2 o'clock in the morning, like, why didn't I turn right when I was supposed to?
Right.
Whatever.
Right. I do that every day in life. I'm not even joking. Man.
Really? You're overthinking?
No, what you just said. Oh fuck, man, I'm notorious for that.
What's your zodiac sign?
Huh?
What's your zodiac sign?
Cancer. Don't be hitting on me, Dwayne. We're on tape, man.
You're a water sign.
Trying to buy me a drink.
You're overthinker, man. That's what it is. I'm a water sign. We're overthinkers, man.
What are you?
Pisces.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No, but like what you just said, man, about on set, and then he's like, let's shoot one. I have that recurring dream, man, and I'm fucking in a van on set, and I have a big part, and I'm around actors, and I keep asking the PA, I'm like, hey, you got any sides, and I'm nervous because I have my lines, I know them, but I need to refresh them. And the dream is the same every time, and no one has sides, and we're headed to set, and I'm gonna let down 100 crew guys and fucking every actor. I'm the new guy, And man, you wake up, it's a nightmare. You wake up, and then you're happy that it's not a fucking real deal.
No,
and then you're like, nah, I ain't worked in fucking months, man. That can't be a real fucking.
My dream like that
wait
for a long
minute.
time. It was for some reason could not pass this test in math in high school, and I always wake up and I know I'm about to fail in 12th grade. It's crazy. So that's my recurring dream. But I remember doing this gig. It was a Coke gig years ago when I was kind of still in that space starting out or whatever. And my dog had passed away, got hit by a car. And my roommate Eric at the time was telling me he was going overseas to work and I didn't know where to stay now. You know what I'm saying? So I said, I had to go to set that day. And my head was just not in it. I don't care what I did, man. Lines was just leaving me. I was not there. And I remember one of the producers like, Dwayne, it's this. Say this. You said this. And she would come to me and say, no, you're saying this. It's this. Oh, yeah, I got it. And I would say the same thing. One time she just said, fuck, and just threw the paper. What I'm saying, it was terrible. That was one of those days. I had one of those. Yeah. My dog, I love my dog. I love dogs. Yeah. So my dog Stormy got hit by a car, and then I got found I ain't got nowhere to stay. So I'm just sometimes we got to say no to stuff.
Right.
Like I'm not in this. Like my father had got shot one day, and I went to a callback. My father was on the golf course in Kansas City, and somebody just randomly drove by and shot him.
For real.
Yeah.
He's okay.
Yeah, he's fine now. But he didn't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I get that, and I got to go to an audition.
Right.
Man, it was for a Vampire Diaries. So my mind was just gone.
Yeah.
So I think that as actors, man, we got to take care of it. We got to nurture ourselves and not let this business.
That's your instrument, right?
Yeah. Not let this business run you. You got to say, you know what? This just happened. I'm not in the space for this.
Yeah. And well, that's the problem with new actors is that, they want to say yes to everything because they're looking for they think they're going to make it. They think they're going to get the Townsend thing or they're going to get the damn, national.
Well, social media's done this, man. Social media's, man. That's
smoke and mirrors, man.
Let me tell you something,
Such
man.
bullshit.
Thank God
but actors are fucking guilty of this. Of pumping themselves up on social media.
Yeah. We're told we have to brand ourselves. We have to do all this other stuff.
Yeah, but to an extent, but don't lie.
Don't lie. Yeah.
And we know so many people, man. I know you know the same people. Who it's like, wait, dude, I know you ain't got no fucking jet, motherfucker. I know you. Yeah.
No, a buddy of mine, man, went to LA.
You've never been on a plane except Spirit Airlines, motherfucker. I know you ain't even been on Delta.
A buddy of mine went to LA, man. He was an actor here, and he went to LA to hang out with some people. And he said, Dwayne, don't believe everything you see. He said, a lot of people are sleeping on couches.
Yeah, man.
And but they'll put on social media that, hey, guys, I'm doing this.
Right.
And you start to feel a certain way because you're not doing that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, and that's the problem. I'm off social media, man.
Yeah.
I got rid of it. I had to, man. These guys are getting on my ass because they want me to get back on and promote this, but it was heroin, man. It was bad, man. I'd be refreshing, and then you get fucking depressed. You're like, this motherfucker.
Bro, you said something right
this dude fucking booked so-and-so, and you're like, I remember I ran into a guy. He's not a reputable actor, but he thought he was, and he just he knows who I am. He knows I'm a working actor. He's trying to be, and this is years ago. And he went to LA, rich parents, and he had the whole nine, and he had a coke problem, all this shit. Anyway, I'm not gonna name his name, but this motherfucker, I'm like, what are you in town for? Oh, I'm shooting this and this, I'm like, oh, cool. Reality, he's from here. He was in town just because he's fucking off, Long story, I'm like, did he not think that I would go and check to see if he's on the call sheet or whatever, He wasn't in that movie, whatever he said, man. Just lying, man. Yeah, and that's wrong, man. Yeah. We need, like you said back in the day, we used to stick together and we used to look out for each other. Now, not that it's cutthroat, but social media has made it to where I got to one-up a motherfucker. You know what I mean? It's like a rapper mentality. Like, I got to show you that I got a fucking Bentley, man. You ain't got no fucking Bentley, man. You know what I mean? Like, you rented that shit for the video.
But I take breaks. I do take breaks. But, one thing I think that you have to do is figure out what, use it as a tool. Yeah. I use it for comedy, motivation, of course, things that I'm looking to work on or whatever. Like if I'm casting for something or whatever, I'll put it on social media. But other than that, man, it's not real. Yeah. It's just not something I try to live by. It's hard because we're fed that so much now. I mean, I don't know. I get most of my news from TikTok, and that's probably not a good thing, you know what I'm saying? Because I think nowadays everything is so flooded with agendas now. Everybody has an agenda about everything. So
that was the other thing, man. Politics get into it. It's like,
man, come on.
Man, I used to like you, man. I don't give a fuck how you feel, but like, I don't want to know. You know what I mean?
We know too much now. That's the problem.
Fuck off. I don't care how you feel. You know what I mean? Like, just be the cool person I thought you were.
Well, that's the thing about it, man. Like that's why you don't see Denzel stuff a lot because he keeps that stuff secret. He knows how to keep his private life private.
Yeah. But they got people that do that shit for him.
Well, I think I don't need to know what Bradley Cooper ate for breakfast.
No,
I don't care. You know what I'm saying? But I think now with social media, everybody's putting everything out there, man. It takes away from the mystique.
There are thousands of people that give a shit what Bradley Cooper ate for breakfast.
It's the generations behind us. Man. Yeah.
Like this fucking Taylor Swift shit over the Super Bowl, man.
Come on, man. We heard it. I knew. But I knew she
was talking about something eating for breakfast. We knew when she took a shit, man. Like
I knew they were going to Super Bowl. I said the NFL's not going to let. I said NFL's not going to let this.
Oh, here we go, conspiracy.
No. I'm a Chiefs fan. You know what I'm saying? But I understand the business aspect of this. You know what I'm saying? Not that Mahomes is not good enough to get Super Bowl, but I knew the NFL was going to do everything in their power
Right.
to make sure.
All right. Do you think, real quick, we got to get out of here, but you think that that Travis Kelce and her is set
fake.
up?
That's fake. That's fake. Yeah,
it's fake.
It's fake, man. Yeah, come on.
See, I don't think so, man.
You think it's real?
No, and I'm all about like thinking it's bullshit. I want everything to be bullshit.
What makes you think it's real?
Because why him?
Well,
why her? I get it. And then people say, oh, because 27 million girls tuned into the Super Bowl between the ages of 12 and 35. Okay. Right. How many of those 27 million now are like, you know what, Dad? I really fucking love football. I'm going to tune in come fucking August.
So they got to have...
Dad, I know what a cover 2 is. I can't believe it, Dad. This is fucking great.
Right.
No, as soon as she's gone, they're gone.
Yeah, that's true.
So it doesn't make sense to me. And he's not the most looking badass dude, you know what I mean? And he's a tight end. It's not like he's like the showboat, you know what I'm saying?
Well, they made him that guy this year. Like, it was the Travis Kelce show this year.
Yeah,
you know, and even more so.
But he is the best tight end.
He's the best tight end. He's the best tight end. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm again, man.
It's funny.
I embrace it.
It's half and half, man. My stepbrother, he's like, we got a bet going, and he's like, that shit's over, man. You watch, it's fake. It's fake. I'm like, why? I don't understand the motivation to get people to watch it. Okay, but you've already got a huge audience, and she's got a huge audience, and to blend them together, it's not your.
Well, I feel like the NFL wanted that younger generation because they don't care like
younger generation, yes, but like I said, how many of those young girls are going to be like, oh, I'm a huge Raiders fan now? You know what I mean?
No, you're right, but I think
none of them be Falcons fans.
It was genius, man. It was if that was the case, you know, it made people that don't only watch Super Bowl this year. But
for one time.
For one time, yeah. For one time.
Which doesn't do anything. You know what I mean?
It just seemed forced to me. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I saw. Man.
You think Usher did a good job?
You know what? I tell people all the time, he didn't do a good job for Atlanta, but he did a good job for Middle America. Like, they don't know Usher like that. Like, we know Usher here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we know what he can do, but he played it safe enough to say, this is my performance Super Bowl. If you want to know more about me, come check me out.
Yeah.
Other than that, it was a good performance. It was enough.
I thought you did.
He couldn't do.
I like the roller skating.
He had stripper poles up there. Come on, man.
Yeah.
He had stripper poles at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know.
You know, so
I tell you who loved that.
Who?
I mean, not the stripper poles, but who loved that he got picked. Fucking Lil Jon.
Oh yeah.
All of a sudden, Lil Jon had a paycheck.
He's back in the game, man. He's back in the game.
All right, we gotta get out of here. One quick question. You say you taught now for 20 years. Anniversary was last August. What would you tell a young actor coming up? Your best advice? Don't do it is my best advice.
Yeah, but that too.
Yeah. But be a barber. Be a barber.
Be a barber. There you go. Don't be so hard on yourself. Enjoy the journey, man.
Are you talking to me now? I said a young
everybody.
No, fuck you. I'm hard on myself.
No, just enjoy the journey, man. Don't make it a thing where you have to book something to enjoy this, because you'll always be at the disposal of booking. You know what I'm saying? I think that you're already an artist now. You know what I'm saying? If you enjoy it, make it about that. If the booking comes, great, but have fun with this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I even went back to I didn't want to do it, but I work with Country Wayne on his podcast. I didn't want to do any social media stuff like that, but I'm having the most fun. Like, the way this guy runs his thing and figures it out and lets us play. And Mike Bless, shout out to Mike Bless, Country Wayne, all those guys, Ro, my girl, homegirl on the show. But it's just it got me back to being fun again, and not a check or a job that I have to worry about. It's just I miss that, man. I miss when we were just, the fun part of this business is the come up.
Yeah.
Because when you get to the point where you're working, it's just like, oh, okay, and you get jaded after a while, don't you? You book something. It's not like when you first started out. Is when you book something.
No.
You're like, oh yeah, okay, I got to do this.
It can be a job. I still think it's the best job in the world,
right?
And I still would rather be on set than anywhere in the world.
Absolutely.
And I'm still the guy that's schlepping, doing carpentry and fucking, different shit. You know what I mean? You got to make money.
Yeah.
But I'd rather be on set than anywhere in the world.
But no, Jamie McCoy Langford, who's a producer, she gave my first series lead, was a movie for a lead, and I'm grateful to her for that. But it let me know how much work that is too. We were on set every day, had the most heavy lifting, and it became a situation where I was like, man, this is something I like to come in, guest star role, and keep moving. I think there's more longevity in that, because you can do so much more. Yeah. But if you get stuck pigeonholed on a show, and that's your lot in life, and that's it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's one. I'll ask you one quick question because you brought it up, and this is a good thing, and I'm curious about it. If you had your druthers, would you be a movie star or would you be a TV show star? That is to say that you get on one show and you're on it for 9 years, 10 years. Let's say, Walking Dead, the main guy on Walking Dead. Or if you were a movie star and a Denzel, which would you rather?
Movie star, because I can go and come. Yeah. I don't want to be stuck in having to do this for 10 seasons.
Yeah, I'm with you. I agree. But some people say TV shows.
Yeah, I mean, if you get a lick like that and you good, man, hey. Yeah. I did an episode of Walking Dead, and those guys were like, the guy that played the governor this season. I worked with him.
Yeah,
he moved his family here for a whole season or however long he was on the show. So,
yeah.
Yeah, man. So I think that
Yeah, he also got smoothies in his hand. You had to go downstairs.
Right, I had to go get mine.
Yeah,
Right?
not shit. Yeah, not shit. Hey man, it's so good to talk to you, brother.
Come on, man. Always,
Thank
man.
you
You
so
know,
much,
anytime
man.
you call, Ted, you know I'm coming. Come on.
Yeah, anytime. Well, don't worry.
Let's
This ain't
get it,
gonna last long. This podcast.
This is one time deal.
No. You might get 8 people watch it, maybe 9, but
I believe it's gonna get 10. Man.
I don't know how big. Oh, you got a big family.
Yeah.
Oh, I got. Yeah, I forgot about
grandma.
grandma. She gonna watch it. She gonna.
Let's get it. All right.
Thank you so much. Hey guys, thank y'all for tuning in to Scale Plus Ted, Dwayne Boyd. Everybody, thank you.
That's it.
Good to see y'all.
That's it.
Thank you.